It's so funny because God knew what I needed to do before I did The Voice. And so he prepared me a lot on the mission field and getting me in front of people I'd never met before in my life, but knew that they were in a desperate situation.
Yeah.
And I'm just this kid from California with alopecia, something they probably wouldn't even know how to pronounce. And I'm there and they're not seeing me any different.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I go to Guatemala, Panama, Ecuador with my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad. We all went together. We're on these buses. It's an organization, and God bless his family, but his name is Steve Goley. He had passed away actually just recently, about a year ago. Okay. But he would lead this organization with my dad. It's called Never the Same Missions. And so I went on this trip, and what the goal of the mission trip is you take all these different churches and different Christian schools, and you get some of the parents to take their teens to go on these trips. So it's a teen-centered trip.
Got it.
So it's really fun. And so
you get exposed to what's going on in those countries.
At a young age.
Wow.
And if you know anything about the missions, it's very hard to get teenagers and kids across the seas. So it was a big deal for us. But summertime, we all went over there. Me and my friends, we raised money with the music like I was mentioning, and we went straight into these places. We gave out food. We did a drama. I actually played the devil in the drama because of the bald head.
Yeah.
So I was the evil magician.
Oh my goodness.
So the kids painted me all black and red, and then it's a drama that's in another language that's teaching the story of Jesus called The Toy Maker and His Son. And so as that's happening, they're getting captivated, these kids, these family members, in their language. When it's done, of course, I'm gone because I was the devil, and Jesus is still there. He gives them an opportunity on the mic through a testimony to give their life to Jesus.
Wow.
So you're seeing all these people be saved, and I was like 15 or so, 14, around there. My little brother, my little sister on the mission field with me. I'm seeing my brother pray for people. Wow. I'm praying for someone, and their arm completely gets healed from being withered so she can cook for her family. I'm doing that with my grandmother. This is amazing, And I'm just seeing the power of God at such a young age. I don't quite yet probably really understand how awesome it is. Because I don't know desperation yet quite. Yeah. But I'm seeing that it's good. And I'm seeing it's powerful, and it's cool that I get to be a part of it, and I get to rap, right? I love rapping. But it was great because I got to do those songs on the mission field. People got to experience, and it was a funny story. My brother had long hair back then, and they were having him sign the Bible because they thought he was Jesus.
That is funny.
It was so funny. But they thought it was Justin Bieber too, because we were out there and he's like on the mic with me and stuff. So, man, just some funny, times. But looking back on it, that really prepared my heart because God showed me, hey, people are people.
Yes.
And people need me. And that's the biggest need that people have is God, is to know their purpose. And so I was there. And all I had to do was rap and say yes to God and go on this mission trip, which was great. It was super fun. But people got to know their purpose through that. Sign me up. I'm down, right? Yeah. But a lot of that boldness was developed there on that field for another field, and that was The Voice. And so I really believe after that, when I came back, man, I was on fire. But the problem was that I wasn't even really a part of a church.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to do anything with that fire.
Got it.
I just went on a trip, I came back, and the fire started to diminish. The only place I knew where the fire was in my music. So what I did was through that studio, I started developing music. My mom started to really like it. My dad started to like the music, started to put it out, started to do music videos. I'm like, this is what I'm called to do. Next thing happens, my mom says, hey, why don't you try out for The Voice? I'm like, okay. I'm like almost 16 at this time. So we go in person to the Los Angeles Convention Center, stand in line for like 3 hours.
Thousands of people that show up.
Thousands of people, all kinds of people. People with pink hair, people with like random people dressed up like crazy, like people I'd never seen before. And we're all in line. And everyone's trying to be noticed. And I'm there, and I already know, I'm already set apart. But I knew because of God, and things I had done. But I'm there in line, I'm nervous. And I have to be there with my mom because I'm 15. We're waiting in line. We get to the very front, and everyone starts standing in front of a table, and there's 3 judges. They're all on their laptops. They look like they don't care.
Yeah.
They're just saying, okay, next person, let's go. We all line up. It's about 10 of us. All right, you sing. 30 seconds, a cappella, whatever you have. So they all start singing. I'm at the very end. And so it gets to me, and I start singing, and it sounds like this. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious, right? Less than 1 minute, oh. I thought that song was cool. And so I sang that, and they looked up from the laptops. They said, all right, everybody go but Sam. You stay.
Wow.
My mom was like, what? Like, she was like, no way. Next thing I know, it's me and those 3 judges in the room together. And they're like, listen, I need you to sign this right here. This is a confidentiality agreement, whatever. Your next step is another audition. And so they took me to SIR Studios, which was out in I think it's in Hollywood or something like that. And I go into the studio, place. It's owned by Universal. And there's all these different studio rooms. They start interviewing me about my story, similar to what's happening now. I'm 15, dude. Like, I've never done that kind of stuff before, you know? So it was
interviewed
cool.
and
Dude, yeah, it was like a whole new experience for me. Like, I was like, what? So, but they start asking me questions about my life, and they get right to my alopecia story. So I start sharing that, and then they stay on that for a long time. And I started to learn, like, whoa, this sets me apart with God, yeah, but I have a purpose, yeah, but also there's a purpose for this here in the world at another level. And
there's
so,
a platform for it.
Dude, people loved hearing about it. So I felt really special, you know? And especially with the music, it was cool. So I made it through SIR Studios audition. After that audition, it was another audition. But this one, have you ever been on the trams at Universal Studios?
Yes.
The little tour?
Yes.
You know when you're driving through the city?
Yeah.
That's where the other one was.
Okay.
And so you go there,
in the studio.
And it's in front of Mark Burnett, who does Survivor. He does the Bible series and stuff. He was there. They're awesome. They're all there, but it's kind of like more of a, like, it was an executive round, I guess. You have to be audition for. So I put together not only singing, but I did rapping. I did Michael Jackson, I Want You Back. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. That one. And then I did like a rap too. So just so they could see that side of me. And then I danced.
Wow, you
so
did
I went
everything.
through I went through the classes. Wow. Like, it was fun. But I'm like, I'm going to give it everything I got.
Yeah.
You know, I know how to play guitar, piano as well. So I did that in some of the auditions too. But when I went that audition, it was very like low light. You had a lot of the casting producers there and things like that. I didn't know any of them except for like 1 or 2 through the process of the show. So when I'm there, they have some candles lit. It was like very laid back, like rugs and like only 2 studio lights. It didn't really feel like a studio. But they said, okay, go ahead and you can start singing. They're all smiling. They're excited because I had a story, you know, and that was important to them, probably for the viewers, which is cool. So they had me sing, and they said, all right, thank you so much. And there was nothing. I was like, oh, snap. So I go outside. My mom's like, so what'd they say? I'm like, they didn't say anything. I'm like, oh man, why did they do this to us? They have to tell us later.
Oh my goodness.
Like, you'll get an email. I'm like, oh my gosh,
come on.
That's the worst.
No immediate feedback.
No immediate feedback, man. And we can't tell anybody because we signed the confidentiality. You can't put it on anything. So they had me clear my whole Instagram about stuff, like everything. So I get home, I'm still making music. Month goes by, 2 months goes by, they give me a call. Hey, we want you at Universal Studios at one of our stages to do the blind auditions.
Oh, wow.
So we're gonna have you come to a hotel, and we're gonna shuttle you back and forth. There's gonna be a wardrobe day. There's gonna be interview day. There's gonna be, they said, what was the other one? Like vocal lessons. You're gonna stay in a hotel with people from American Idol recently who were just on, and people who are just like yourself who need to go on this next, series or whatever. I'm like, wow, let's go. So I literally moved out. I was a teen, so I had to do homeschooling at that point. So I literally had to transfer. I was in freshman year, and I transferred, and so I was doing my sophomore year on homeschool.
Wow.
So I had to say again goodbye to all my friends and say hello to this here. So not knowing it's a calling, bro, And sometimes with your calling, and this is just like a pause moment, but there's people that can't go with you to where you're headed. 100%. And that's not their fault, and it's not your fault. It's your calling, and God needs to get you around certain people so you can start thinking differently, And I didn't know where I was headed, but I really felt like I had to say goodbye to some things in order to get to the place I was going.
How big was it that your family really supported you in what you wanted to do?
Oh, bro, it was literally the best. Because they wanted me in sports so bad. They wanted me to be my little brother with the sports. Like, my brother was really good at sports. My sister, she was like, they're trying to get her into acting and stuff like that. But they just wanted to be supportive in whatever we were passionate about, And I think at times, like, I was a little frustrated sometimes because their support meant everything in the world, but their support couldn't get me there.
Yeah.
It could only keep me stable, you know? And so God does that. He puts those people in your life like your parents, you know, but they can't get you to where you need to go. You can't make them your God, you know? And I think I had been through a couple pieces to where I was like making my giftings my God, making my parents my God, you know? And when you do that, it's sad because they can really determine your character as far as like how you see yourself. And it can be to a, you know, sometimes a detrimental point of view, you know, especially like how we're going to get into it soon, but like the divorce and everything, you know, because I had made them my God, you know, I was not seeing my calling, and it was right in front of me the whole time.